game is starting, folks. So finally starting round 3 at long last. Semi-finals in the Clopsey 2v2 this Christmas. We got Marshall and Annihilator casting for you.
Hello.
He says hello menacingly, or not thereof. But in the orange team on the South Pole, we have Wormeur and Pufferfish. In Team Orange there, going vehicles and air, following it up with your typical eco spawn with 1, 2, 3 P-gens from... That'll be Wormeur's commander there, because Violet, of course... Wait, no. No 2 boots from Violet. GG, no
Quite excited to see that Orange here has opened up with a Pelican to start dropping these vehicle fabs around.
Yeah.
Both teams opened up with vehicle air so far.
But the bomber coming out from the Clopse and Pagmaster team in black. Just to introduce those players, Pagmaster of course being Neptunio. The bomber coming out maybe wanting to go and look for the Pelican drop to here, as that is always an early rush thing. But unfortunately it does go in a different direction. Hoping to pick off some expanding fabs in the other direction. But the thing with bombers and vehicle fabricators is vehicle fabricators can take 2 passes from bombers. Bots, however,
Yeah, they
they
have quite a few advantages to them, especially if they're getting ferried across the map to cut down on.
This is some hard expand here. We've got 3 Pelicans going in different directions. We do have the Air Scout there, though, following that one just at the edge of its vision. Are we going to get an interceptor coming in just in time? Unfortunately, it was a little bit late, but that fabricator is going to go down. Oh, it was single pass managed to do it. Okay. Typically, I found. Oh, I suppose it's long versus wide. But yes, bots coming out now from the orange team. Of course, Docs do have the movement capabilities and amphibious capabilities to go and raid super early on, which is nice. Black, of course, raiding with their air, really strong here, and again coming in for more bots. Nice win there, almost got a double pick, but the bomber did go down to the commander. Further bombers are going to be following that up. But looking at where the Pelican drops the fabricators, AA Galata turrets going off in a number of places. If they manage to secure these places, that'll manage to pay for themselves quite well going into the mid-game. Not necessarily late game because of the range of naval, but certainly early game and possibly a bit of the mid-game as well will be able to pay for itself really nicely there.
Yeah, these Pelican drops going off, we'll see a very quick jump up in both players' eco, but it looks like Black is a little bit farther at the moment. They've secured a little bit more, but nobody's really made a play for the water quite yet. Nothing tangible to see at the moment.
We do have a commander queuing up a bit of naval over there, though.
Yeah, by both sides.
Yeah, and Black pinging one of the Orange's expansions there, saying, "Alright, we need to go and do something about this." Actually, what do Black see over there? Yeah, they do see the expansion there, and of course going to assume that the fabricators are there and doing their dirty work. Looking around though, I think the reason we don't see too much in the way of naval is simply because of the strength of bots on this map and the way they're amphibious. The thing is, naval takes quite a while in terms of movement speed, and docs can just get there a lot faster, like we do see here, taking down some hummingbirds with them as well as a fabricator here. Really nice pick there from the orange team, and they'll be able to take down those 3 metal extractors unless Black answers them with this. But they don't have any bombers in the near vicinity, so we will see a couple of mechs go down there, even a Galata turret.
I'm just kind of engrossed in all this. Yeah, these docs are doing what they do best, which is harassing metal and preventing their opponent's eco from getting too large. It's very good that they're doing this because, as you can see, Black's gone much harder into getting their eco going, meaning that they've had to neglect.
Oh snap! Sorry to interrupt you there, but the air game. Oh, Orange just lost their air, and Black did a good trade there with the air game, and even managing to take out a fabricator as well with a few docks there. Really nice play in the middle. Sorry, back to where you were. What you were talking about.
Actually, I'd like to see here that glider turret can shoot the ground and clean up these docks. It's a little cheesy, but it can be done. But it's at this point, Black's very far ahead. They're gonna just start dumping their money into the tanks and in any head-on engagement, the tanks are going to beat the docks because there's just not quite enough. Black actually has piranhas going around, making sure that Orange has got nothing in the water, and they not too much. Interesting here, you can actually build off of these cliffs into the water. I did not actually know that. That place there also is a good place to set up torpedo launchers. A small engagement here with the air didn't actually happen, just kind of flying by each other. But there's a little bit of harassment here. Doc's gonna get picked up, and
yeah, those
Black's
docks really aren't going to be able to do anything there. But Black, just with the air game as well, and as you were saying with, you know, things like the piranhas everywhere, it's something you expect from Clopse and Neptunia, right? Intense micro, omnipresence around the map, and just constant aggression, and I think it's really paying off for them. We do see the vehicles coming out, as you did say there, and they do take quite a while to get across the map, but the thing is, they're coming in from a couple of different directions, and by the time they actually get there, when they're assisted by air, then Orange are going to have to defend.
The only thing we really don't see coming from Black right now is a teleport to close the distance. Teleports do very well on this map because there is a lot of distance that you can close quickly with them.
Ooh, now this is going to be interesting. Black pinged this air harass here. We're going to see an air engagement. We'll see the air micro here in just a second. Black will see that when they do engage, Black will probably roll their planes. By that I mean the moment they start firing, you'll see them retreating in a sort of circular fashion, so that, as I've said in previous casts, the first aircraft takes its shot, receives a shot but doesn't die, gets to the back. The next shot goes to another aircraft that shoots at the same time. And so you're getting maximum shots fired for least losses.
When we were actually watching the engagement, if you'll see, or if you saw, Clopse and Pagmaster, they actually split the bombers from their from their interceptors, and they didn't even take the engagement. If you saw there,
they didn't need to.
Clopse had managed to just very sneakily get the bombers out of that group that had lagged behind.
Yeah, they're really good at micro, and especially air micro, because it's so important, and these two players been around since the earliest days of PA and Alpha. They know exactly what they're doing with the air, and of course the air has changed many times, but still as good as ever. It's good to see that they've come back, actually. It's really nice to see that, especially in time for...
I'm very happy because it's getting lonely.
Too. Yeah. But the thing now, what's next? T2 perhaps? Are any of our players going T2? My comm just went walkabout. Violet is complaining at an insubordinate commander. Perhaps she needs to use a
T2
carrot
over
and
here.
a stick. There's the T2, yes. The naval is real, and naval there we'll see maybe kaijus or even typhoons possibly to get over the...
Quite possibly.
To
Black,
get over the hills there?
just for sure, they control pretty much all of the water now.
Yeah. Well, you say that. They have presence there, but they don't actually have the ability to necessarily defend. Yes, they have the air game, but their naval is somewhat concentrated. But whoa, the air game there, you see the rolling. The moment they engage, they roll away. I think Orange might actually have superior numbers here. I think Black are trying not to take an air engagement at this point in time.
Yeah, I noticed that. They actually managed to rival them in at least in numbers in the air at the moment.
Yeah, and this force of vehicles here is going to be pushed away. I think Black will realise, well, they'll either go all in on this one or they will retreat. But I think Orange can defend against this, especially with the commander there. We'll see a couple of Umacans in yet. Black forming up, deciding to push in. They do have a few Infernos there at the front. Commander engaging, seeing the commander, running away. They don't want to take the losses there. That's a significant army. They want to try and keep these fabricators here to establish a front line. Probably see those remicroed off mechs to maybe some point defense. At least I hope so. That's really what they should be doing at this point with this Orange force here. But we'll come back to that in just a second, as around the other side we do have a commander now pushing up onto the plateau. Gonna have to go against a couple of single point laser turrets there, but will manage to lock that down and take additional land. But he's on his own. Take a little bit of damage. As long as he's defended and not commander sniperable, then he's okay.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, the air from Orange now, though. This is, of course, the map where we had the famous storm surge, quite literally. T2 vehicles coming up from Black. They've actually got one completed there. We didn't see because we were looking at the front lines. They got levelers coming out and a second T2 factory going up. Meanwhile, Orange is struggling with their economy. So Black, really, because they're floating so hard, they can afford to get a lot more production out. But here comes the air. Will we see the air engagement that Black have been looking for this time and trying to avoid necessarily? They're chasing. I think they want to do it. It's going to be an interesting decision. They decide better. They want to go away. They want to save it for another time when they feel as though they have something to fall back on. But at this point, they don't necessarily have that. The commander building up walls on the front lines, taking a few hits down to 86. But there should be enough here to defend against this force. Although we do have 2 levelers in there, and that's the backbone of that army. Commander at the front of his vehicles, he needs to get to the back. We are going to see the commander lost here.
Kapoof.
Oh dear, kapoof indeed. The levelers survived to push in. Down goes one of Orange's commanders, just stuck on the front lines there, and the levelers came in. Surprise, Mother Commander. And completely obliterating him.
They lost 20 metal coming in along with that.
Yeah.
Like, they need every little ounce of eco they need right now. Black is about more than twice the amount of metal coming in at the moment, and they're just gonna brutalize with these levelers against the T1 tanks. Levelers do very well against T1.
Well, we did see there the Kaiju's coming out from the T2 naval from Team Black. They're going to start putting the squeeze on Orange, and Orange really need to get their air game and squeezing Black in return, rather than running over Galato, which isn't great for them, even though they were microing their bombers a little bit there. It's not what they necessarily want to be doing at this point, taking fruitless losses. Oh, but here's the air game, there's the stack! Black saying, oh, while the bombers were focusing down, they were all stacked up effectively, and thus taking the air engagement, but Black wanting to get away from it this time, forcing Yellow over a few spinners. Orange, sorry.
Isn't even looking at their air right now.
Oh my goodness, they just completely mis-microed their air, letting them being kited away by Black. Black just chewing this Air Force down now. That is, Orange, what are you doing? Orange! You're letting Black play with you! What is this?
No!
Oh no! I can only assume they're microing someone else. Finally someone woke up on Team Orange, but my goodness, they took so many losses there. So many losses.
Black has decided to start building some bombers, so they're not gonna... They are a little bit ahead right now, but... that they're trying to secure their victory right now. A little bit of a tank force going here, sneaking through. It should be dealt with.
That'll be dealt with. They're attacking a base with T2 vehicle factories at the front lines. They're not going to get anywhere with that, unfortunately. Plus, Black have the radar, so they'll be able to micro units to defend against that. We do have a hero docks in Black's base here, just poking away at a T2 metal. I like that. I like that a lot. Can he take it down? We'll come back to that later. Meanwhile, though, the air... The little docks that could. Little did the docks know, though, there is a battle bigger than himself going on with Black, with the air game now. The bombers coming in against this force. They're saying, you know what, we're not going to take any ground losses. There's no AA in that army. We're going to cut you down and disappear. That army
all
did.
Gone.
Yep. Bang and the dirt is gone, as they say. Kaiju's now showing their hand, coming up over the plateau there. And Orange really don't have anything in their base to deal with this. They have a couple of bombers, yeah, but as soon as they reveal those and try and take out the Kaijus, the air is going to sweep in.
It's going to force an engagement with Black's Air Force.
Oh, Black even saying, you know what, we saw your air, we don't even care, we're just going to run through it at this point. We're just going to take your air. I see your air and I take your air, GG. But the levelers now pushing in from Black on this side. They are going to start doing damage to factories and production. The GGs are called from Pufferfish and Wormeur, or Violet and Wormeur. And that'll be 1-0 in this best of 3. goes to Team Norge against Omelette du Fromage. Wait, is it Omelette du Fromage? Or is it... What's the name of the team, please?
Oh no.
Yeah, it is Omelette du Fromage. Good.
What does that actually mean?
Cheese omelette. Fromage, cheese, omelette du fromage.
I had a suspicion, I just wasn't quite sure.
Oui, monsieur.
What
J'aime
does that mean?
beaucoup les omelettes du fromage avec un croissant, avec la confiture fraise. The T2 vehicle's going up there, and again we'll see, even if not a good trade for red here, and this is what I mean, as long as they're getting even to good trades, they're in the money. Air game trading a few there. I think the air game still advantage goes to red simply because of the production and the overall unit numbers there. Stacking from orange meant they got completely wiped. Bombers running away with a tail between their legs, getting eaten up as a result. I think Orange are really going to struggle to pull this back. They've lost too much map control early game. Looking at the economy there, 355 plays 130. I don't think T2 can save them here. I really don't.
Infernos over here are gonna start munching on them power gens as soon as they start moving.